Okay, so I had a good meeting with Steve and Mike yesterday, and we have um, some good script from the various topics that they're talking about doing. Um, and so what I wanted to do is to kind of go through the logistics with you to make sure that we're all kind of going in the same direction in terms of setup and what we'll need in terms of the avatars and everything. So if it's okay with you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go through the format of the workshop based on what you had said before. And then once I'm done, if we need to make some adjustments on equipment or the technical setup or anything like that, we can make those notes now and then finalize hopefully today. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've got about an hour for the workshop, which I think is enough time for what we want to do based on the little practice session that we did yesterday. Now, I will be there in person, physically in the room, where we will have some chairs set up in a semicircle, and then in the center of the semicircle, the AR 360 camera. Now, I'm not quite sure yet how, and this is something we'd like to decide today, how we're going to set up the images of the three people. So the three people are going to be Steve, who's talking about some topics around trust and AI, cyber security, and the morality issues around AI. Mike is looking at it from an educationalist point of view in terms of writing in higher education, and then Louise is taking a kind of social media perspective. So she's looking at it in a bit of a user experience and media developers point of view. Now, so what we need from you would be the three avatars with their images, and I believe you said all you need is just like a photo of the people. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. If you want to use their personas as avatars, or an alternative is just depending on what you want to achieve from the format, is that I can make avatars which bear no resemblance to the speakers. If
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll go for realistic looking ones because when we finish with the avatars, we can have like a question and answer kind of session. And I know Mike said that he can't be there in person, but he'll be available for the question and answer part via Teams. And the Louise and Steve, I believe, are going to try to be physically there in the room. So I think it would be kind of cool if they could actually see the real people and then the avatars as well.
Right. Well, yes, I can make avatars from the real people. It all depends on what your learning outcomes, because my understanding is the most important thing, or the theme of the session that you're running, is all about a Turing test.
Yes, that's a big part of it. Is that what we want to be able to do? Is have the avatars presenting the three topics, the three segments, and for so the way we're looking at it right now is the sequence will be that I will be kind of facilitating, and give an introduction to the event. So I'll be saying that, as you mentioned, we're going to be doing a Turing test. We have 3 experts which are going to be presenting in a kind of Socratic discussion format where they will be introducing some various topics, and then afterwards we're going to be doing some questions and answers from the audience about their topics. We're going to be capturing the event and various bits of data in order to publish this research event. And in each, there will be 3 sections where the presenters as avatars will be putting their topic forward. But our Turing test is for you to vote at the end of each of the sections on which one is generated from an AI agent. So we have all 3 topics written by the people, but then one of the things that we'll want to do, David, is figure out, like we're talking about having Steve's first topic generated by the AI, Louise's second topic generated by the AI, and then Mike's third topic by the AI. And so once we get their script, we'll run it through the AI generator to change the script. And then we'll see if the audience, at the end of each of the 3 stages, if the audience is then going to vote online, who is the AI agent? Was it, 1, 2, or 3? And
right. So yeah, I understand that. So am I right in thinking that you actually have a total of 9 scripts then, effectively?
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah, you're going to have a copy of 9 scripts. One of them will be the real thing, and 2 of them will be
two of the 3 will be the real thing. Yeah.
So you're going to get each of the presenters to write about the 3 topics.
Correct. Yeah, they've done that. They're just refining it now based on our practice yesterday.
Right. So each presenter is actually writing 3 scripts themselves.
Correct.
On the topic. Yeah, I understand. And then you want AI to generate, and you want AI to generate something along the same lines of the topic. So what I think, and this is something that we can talk about how we want to do that, but we could take their original script and feed it to the AI agent to modify. Well, that's one way of doing it, or the other way of doing it is to ask AI the question of the topic and get it to generate something from scratch. So you could actually have 3 different approaches: the human writing of it, AI modifying what a human has written, and AI generating something from scratch. Okay. So and you could choose which ones you use in each presentation. I suggest that because you're going to have one of the presenters there in person, I suggest that if you're going to do a Turing test, and it's going to be with the minimal amount of bias as possible, is that you let me create 3 realistic avatars that are not the people who are presenting. I mean, I'm happy to take your advice on this, but I think if you have either 3 avatars, and the same 3 avatars make presentations on each of on the topics. So you have 3 avatars. One may be doing the human one, or 2 may be doing the human one, or different humans doing one, and one doing an AI generated one, or you can mix and match. You can have one doing the human one, one doing the AI modified one, and one doing the full AI one.
Yeah.
And you can even have one where it's all AI, or one
Yeah,
where it's all human.
This came up in the conversation with Steve yesterday, because he had the same thought, is the model that we use to conduct the test in terms of as you're suggesting, making it as neutral as possible,
Well,
and not having it just be, like a chance guess,
No, no,
33%. Yeah.
absolutely. And so I think to avoid, I mean, there's many different ways you can do it. I can do 9 different avatars, and you could introduce some bit of the research to see whether there's any bias based on the race or the color or the age of the avatar. You could do clever things like that.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
there's
think,
a lot of variations that I mean, this experiment, this workshop, I think, is just ripe for innovation, and repeating it, but I think when we were talking about it, the presenters are feeling pretty comfortable with the idea that that your avatar would be a representation of them, and one of the 3 statements for each section would be the AI generated one. And then so what we would need to do is take a look at the samples that we make from the AI generated script, and maybe let the presenter choose which one, either adapted from their script, or completely generated from the prompt.
Yeah. I mean, I can get it to generate. I can get it to generate independent of what the person's written, just by asking it a question on that topic. So you can leave me to do that. So if you're planning to do that, and you're planning to have the same 3 avatars present in each section, in other words, the same 3 avatars will talk on one topic, and the same 3 avatars then on the second 10, and then we mix and match the whether the human and the AI bits. Then what I need then are basically, for each section, I will need a photograph, and I can even pick, if they're all on LinkedIn, I can even quite possibly use their LinkedIn.
I remember you did that in our little guest speaking talk. That was so fantastic. And what I was thinking is, if we did have time at the end, because I'm guessing you're going to be involved online. Are you going to be available?
Well, I'm hoping to be, but if I am, it will be online. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Of course, you're more than welcome to come down to Bournemouth, and if you
it would
wanted
be
to
nice.
stay at our house, my wife said she'd be excited to have you.
Well, that's very, very kind of you. And let me see my diary. My diary is getting increasingly
I'm sure
filled up at the moment. I'm doing a lot of work for Innovate UK, and that can come up within a few days' notice, and sometimes it requires. So anyway, if you leave that thought with me. So
okay.
So for the purpose of this exercise, what I need then are the 3 individual scripts, the 3 scripts for each section, written by the human beings.
Yep.
So I've got 9 scripts in total.
Correct.
I need good quality, reasonable quality digital photographs of the presenters, looking face on, ideally with a slight smile on the face, a bit like your avatar, what I'm looking at now. Head and shoulders, or maybe from waist upwards, ideally, facing the camera. That's ideally what I need. And if I get those 3 photographs of the presenters, and I get effectively 9 scripts from you. You can leave me to make the AI modified ones and the AI ones from scratch. So I will do the scripts for the avatars, and you just need to tell me which avatar you want to deliver which speech. So for each of the 9 speeches, I want you to say topic 1, avatar 1, human, avatar 2, modified,
absolutely.
avatar 3, human. If you do that,
I'll map that out for you. That's easy.
Yeah, so I've got three good quality digital photographs, and I've got 9 effectively 9 scripts.
Correct.
So if you send that to me, ideally, if you put it in a document where you put topic 1, and you have
I'll map it out.
In a single document, then and then you tell me which one do you want to use. And it may be that presumably they're not all experts on all of the topics. So we can mix and match. All I need to do is 3 photographs, 9 scripts, and an indication from you which type of script you want to use for which avatar in which session. So you can
I'll put that in Excel, which will summarize it, and then links to each of the files, so that it's really easy. You just open that Excel file, click on the link, it'll give you the script in that or where that order would be. And then the only other thing that we're talking about would be like the introduction of the people, and we were wondering if you would mind, in addition to those 3 scripts, they would just have a couple sentences of a self-introduction. So the avatar would say, hello, my name is Stephen Humphrey, and I'm working blah, 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 and I will be talking about this issue. And then the same would be the next person.
Okay. And as long as you don't have anything there that's going to give a cause of bias, or whether he's going to be talking about that, so it must be him who's going to be the real script when it comes to his topic.
I don't think so. I think I think it will be just a bit of a kind of meta level, to give some context.
So that's all right.
All right. Okay. Now the tricky bit that with the issue that I'm kind of most concerned about now is the actual playing of these avatar videos, because initially I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if we had 3 separate monitors, 3 separate, say, big TV screens that were kind of around the table, so to speak, and then when each person was going to be talking, we would play that particular video. But I'm thinking that logistically that might be a little bit complicated. And I remember you had an image of putting the people in a room 3D image, so that you would have the 3 screens of the avatars, but in room 3D.
No, that was a simulation of what the physical room could look like. It's not meant to be what room 3D can do. I used room 3D and I edited the graphics to make it look like a physical room. That was my suggestion for a physical room. So what my suggestion is, there's 2 ways of doing this. One way would be probably the best way is if you're streaming it as well, you have a big screen. You can use screen share in Zoom, and you have a PowerPoint presentation, and you can either do it by having 1 slide for each topic, and use animation to bring the first avatar up, to do their presentation, then bring the second one up and play their video, and bring the third one up and play their video. And then you have polling within Zoom, or use Slido, something like that, to do a poll to get them to vote for what they think is what human and what is non-human.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can either get them to vote after each video.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. So when after the first topic is done, then we would do the vote. Yeah. And then repeat for topic 2 and repeat for topic 3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in PowerPoint, you can either have 3 individual slides, so each person is full screen. The video plays, and then the next avatar comes up, and the video plays. The next avatar comes up, video plays.
Yeah.
You do the poll, and then you can either choose to share the results of that poll, or wait until all the polls are finished, and then show it later on. So you've got plenty of choices, but that would be I think my inclination would be actually to have an individual slide for an individual person.
I like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that it's full screen. You can choose. You can make a background specific to that topic as well. So you've got 3 people with the same background.
Yeah. That's nice.
That's nice. And,
yeah, that keeps it simple. And then, like you say, it's just sequential. All I have to do then is play them in order.
Yeah. You just share the slideshow. As I say, you can either do it in Slido. I'm not sure how.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy to do in Zoom. Setting up polling questions in Zoom is very easy. There's probably quite a few choices, but Slido gives you other options as well.
Okay. No, that sounds good. I think that like I say, keeping it simple for now, whereas I think it would be great if we were able to have, say, a separate screen for each person, to give that kind of Socratic discussion effect. But because of the nature of this, I think now we want to keep it as simple as we can, and then later we can play around with modifying it a bit.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right, and it it keeps it to point, and it keeps it you're getting the best chance of getting reasonably reliable data from it.
But using that image that you had of the room 3D, that could be our opening slide, our opening image. So on the big screen we see the 3 avatars in that kind of room setting.
Well, yes. What I could do is make a video introduction. So if I make the video recording of the 3 avatars introducing themselves, I can make a single slide, which is like the room 3D environment with the 3 screens. On each screen, there will be a video introduction of each of the presenters. So if you were doing it that way, that could actually be the opening slide in your PowerPoint.
Yeah, I like that.
So
nice.
What will you do? You have that opening slide, and you would click on play, and then on the first screen, the first avatar would come and say, "I'm so and so and so."
That's it. Yeah.
Then the second avatar will come up in the middle screen, and the third avatar come up on the end screen.
Brilliant.
And then you go into the individual.
Yep. That is beautiful, David. Thank you so much. It's so always so good to talk with you. It just helps to take that kind of fuzzy image in my mind, and clarify it. This has been great. And you're comfortable with doing these things. I don't want to put you in any kind of pressure.
No, no. As long as I get it in the easiest format for me to be able to very quickly take the pictures and take the text and process them, I
Yep.
can do that in my own time. It doesn't take a great deal of time and effort, but I can control when I do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how I do it, as long as I know what you're looking for in the end product.
No, that's perfect,
then-
because
then-
because we want to give you like at least a couple weeks to be able to play with this.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm thinking by next week we can have that finished product, and then I've got a meeting set up for the week after that where we will go through the finalized version of the setup, and based on our discussion today, and that should give you the month to get things done.
Yeah, that's plenty of time. That gives me plenty of time.
Excellent. Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. Well, if you want excitement, you should have been in Paris.
What happened?
For my presentation. Well,
my video is working now, by the way.
It is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you know, I sometimes push the boundaries of technology.
I love it. I love it.
Well, yes, but if you're doing it live in front of an audience, you have to. Anyway, let me tell you what the topic of my presentation was your digital twin is smarter than you.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to do it as not only education but also a piece of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to structure it so that I took somebody from the audience. I made a digital twin of them. I got some basic information about themselves, where they were born and where they were educated, and a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was the idea, and then get AI to write 250 words of the opening chapter of their life and times. And then use the software to get their digital twin to narrate their life story.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I can do this. I can do this in 5 minutes. It's not, I have practiced it. But of course, there are a number of things that could go wrong, that did go wrong.
Oh.
The fact that you are not only the fact that you're doing it live, but you're doing it on a laptop which is connected to a projector.
Yeah.
And of course, that was the first thing. What I'd hadn't really occurred to me when I was practicing it was that when you're showing a slideshow, you as a presenter don't see what is on the screen. Mm-hmm. What you see is the slide that's showing and the next slide.
Mm-hmm.
If PowerPoint is set up to do it that way. So I've never seen anybody do this before, so it was very ambitious. So when it came to doing the demonstration of creating the avatar, I do that on my smartphone. So my challenge was, how do you get what you're showing on your smartphone onto the projection screen? So I tried it beforehand, and if you you set up a Zoom, log onto Zoom
through the phone,
and also on the main projector screen.
Yep.
So the main projector screen is showing the Zoom screen, and then you share screen on the mobile. The audience will see what you see on the mobile. But because PowerPoint works in the way that it did, when I set up the Zoom meeting and turned the phone, the screen still stayed on my presentation. So the audience couldn't see what I was doing with the phone.
Oh,
anyway,
no.
So the tech guy very quickly sorted that out for me. So, within a space of a minute or so, he got it so that the audience could see. So anyway, I got a volunteer from the audience, and a young lady who lives in Paris and was born in Nice and educated in Brussels and wants to live in Italy. So I got some material from her, And you know, I blame you for this. You know, you sent me one of Donald Taylor's blogs about ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT in audio.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
tried this. I tried this before I went, and I did what I planned to do in the demonstration in ChatGPT on my phone,
Okay.
and nothing.
Oh
It had work. It wouldn't produce anything. So I tried
no.
3 times, and then I always have a plan B.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to resort to plan B, which was to take a piece of text that I'd used before,
Yeah.
doing the same thing, and then just change the words and the life story.
Mm.
And I did that in Chat and Ask AI, which is a smartphone application. So I got this lady to say a few words, and then so after those 3 failed attempts with the speech to text, I edited the AI, and I got it to generate her life story. And she said I'd like it in Italian, so it generated it in Italian,
Brilliant.
and she was really pleased with that because she speaks Italian. I wouldn't know whether it was right or wrong, but so I'd got the script. Then the next thing was to get her the avatar that I created for her, and she was absolutely thrilled with it, to deliver this speech. So again, I use the software I always use, it always works, and I put her picture into it. And because of the speed of the network, it wouldn't
That's
show
what I
her
was going to
picture.
say. I bet it was a network issue. Yep.
Well, it wouldn't process it. So what I had
Yeah.
to do
Oh
was
my.
to edit the avatar and just crop it,
Yeah, yeah,
make it
yeah.
smaller.
Oh
Then
boy.
it processed it. Then it did the script, and then I was able to show her avatar delivering her life story in Italian.
Oh
So
my.
it worked in the end, but I did, and I don't know whether I can share my screen and show this. If I bring it up,